and Cobra DVS here, and this is part 2 of the greatest finds ever, or whatever we wind up calling the video series, where we talk about the greatest scores, finds, deals we ever got. Part 1 was on IntellivisionDude's channel. If you didn't see that, go ahead, and I'll just link it in the description. He'll have part 1. Part 2 is the one you're watching now, and then part 3 will be on Derreck's channel. So we should introduce them anyway. IntellivisionDude on the one channel, and DerrecksGameWorld on the other.
Hello.
All right. So anyway, I do encourage you to go ahead and watch part 1. Some pretty good stuff there. So the idea of the idea of the video really is just to talk about great scores that we've had throughout history, and ideally whoever's channel the video is on, that's where they're going to tell their greatest find. So in this video, I'll talk about my greatest. Rob talks about his best, and Hunter will in his video. So I had to write these down because my memory's not so great anymore, and I knew
you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you do. So I'll start with one. Just a single game, a single score. Let's see. Had to be 2012, maybe. Yeah, probably around there. I was in college. I remember negotiating this deal during a class.
I've done that.
So, it happened.
I've done that, yeah.
So I cannot remember the guy's name. Was it the guy's username was like K Zach the Man or something like that?
I don't have those stories because when I was in class, it'd be just trading games.
Yeah.
Rob, you didn't even have a microwave until the 80s. Come on, man.
So anyway, so this guy makes a YouTube video about stuff he's got for sale, and I kind of remember the video very, very vaguely. It was like he was shifting through a cardboard box. I think it was a darker video, not very well lit, and
real unprofessional here.
Yeah, just like a video I would and still would make. Lighting's not great. There's not there's no director or producer telling me what I need to do. And
you should turn on your Nintendo light.
I can, but you wouldn't be able to see it. It would just maybe we'll change angles. Anyway, where was I? So anyway, he does this video of stuff he's got for sale. I don't remember anything else in this video.
Yeah, your brain was probably just like, whoo.
Except he had a copy of Wild Guns.
Oh.
On Super Nintendo. Now, I do not remember if in the video he just showed the cartridge or if he showed everything. But as it turned out, it was a complete copy of Wild Guns. Now, when you go back to 2012, the value of that game complete, I think we actually kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't that much. It was like cartridge only, I think, was like $100.
Yeah, cartridge maybe $100.
I think I remember that time too.
Cartridge $100, complete copy, 200 on the high end at the time, probably.
Yeah, I think that's about right. So anyway,
still rare, but
definitely, yeah, probably just as rare as it's ever been. It's just the pricing finally kind of. So we're talking, and I don't remember the negotiation. I don't remember why he was selling. All I remember is I offered him $60, and there was there was a reason for it. It was because the box was not in good shape. The cartridge was equally not in good shape. And at first I only started negotiating based on the cartridge only. I don't think that I knew it was complete until we started talking.
I mean, even the cartridge, $60, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, but a bad condition cartridge for a $100 game at $60, good deal. But not like highway robbery. It's not robbery. I don't.
Yeah, but it's kind of one of those things. I'm never gonna get a better deal anytime soon. I'll just buy it for now, and maybe I'll find one in the next 10 years.
Yeah, maybe upgrade later. Yeah. So anyway, as it goes, I end up buying the game from the guy, $65, whatever, shipped to my house. And I got it, and I still have it. Actually, I have it here with me. I still have it today. It's right here.
You still got it.
Oh yeah, I kept it. I'm not getting rid of this.
That box doesn't look too bad. Is it a little sun faded?
It's a little sun faded in the front. Structurally, it's not bad.
Maybe the box protector is keeping it in shape.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's helping. Yeah, and I know you got an insert in it.
Here's the thing. I'll actually open it. When I got it, the manual's in pretty good shape. The manual is fine.
Well, that's the hardest part to find. It's the manual.
Yeah. So the manual is actually quite nice. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I've got this, this stuff. But here's the cool thing: the registration card was in there.
Ah.
Cool.
I like how me and Rob both did that.
Yeah.
Oohs and ahs.
I know about registration cards and how they.
There is one
the value.
The one downside is that the cartridge, like I said, not in great shape. However, years ago, I did a trade with Sick Cooper. If you remember, I know you guys know Sick Cooper. I traded him. We worked out a deal where I got a very, very good condition cartridge, and I still have that one today. So
I unfortunately don't have any of my scores. It's all gone.
What did you trade Cooper for that?
It was
Ninja Gaiden 3.
It was my copy of Wild Guns and a really good copy of Ninja Gaiden 3 for his near mint copy of Wild Guns.
That's
cartridge.
Right. Why don't you tell it? Well, yeah.
I was just gonna say, to be honest, Ninja Gaiden 3, it's not a cheap game, but they're basically, you're never gonna run out of those. It's easy. You know what I mean?
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he message you wanting it back?
Yeah. I almost forgot. So the guy who bought the Wild Guns, this K-Zach the Man or whatever his name was, maybe a week after I got it, he messages me back asking if I would be willing to sell it back to him. And I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but he was totally okay with it. And I told him, look, this is a game I've really wanted. I don't want to sell it back.
Basically, so the end result was it was a big fat no.
Yeah, it was basically.
In other words, you found out what it was worth and wanted it back, right?
Hey, I don't know, maybe. So anyway,
again, though, he should have looked it up.
Yeah, I mean, right, but even then, though, great deal. But at the time, I don't know how I got it for the price I did, but
it wasn't $1.
It may have been $80. It may not have been $60. I'd have to find the thing.
The only person I know with a complete copy of Wild Guns for $1 is Justin over at Business 17. That son of a bitch.
That's a good deal.
Love you, Justin, but my God, man.
All right.
So you have your big story.
Oh yeah.
Well, I do. What I'm wondering is, because in your video I did, I subbed one out and did the Intellivision score. But I have a good Sega score, Hunter. You know what I'm talking about. That probably. You know what? No, I'm gonna save it to hell with it. So we got Wild.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do the Sega one in Hunter's video. That's a good.
Don't worry. Yeah.
I do want to do one more though. This one won't take long. Before we get to the greatest deal I will ever get, and
it's probably better than all my deals.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You can do better. It happened to me.
Maybe. So years ago, 2000. When did this game come out? I think this game came out 2014.
I might know what this is.
Oh, yeah. Is this what I think it is?
Oh, probably. Came out in 2000. The game's Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I figured.
It's an awesome game.
Really... I was thinking of Kyo Flying Squadron.
Nah, the game did not come out in 2014. The game came out in 1994.
You're like 20 years off.
No, you said Sega something, didn't you?
Well, yes.
I'll add the Kyo thing to Hunter's video because I did mention that. I want to mention it too. Anyway, so Hyrule Warriors, a Wii U exclusive at the time, comes out. It's a new hack and slash Zelda game. Really enjoyed it. Bought the regular one.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, it's a fun game. And there was a couple of stories going around that the first of all, in other countries there was a limited edition, pretty widely available, and you can still find it. In the United States,
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, and I think the contents are basically the same.
Sure.
The Japanese one almost looks exactly the same. It's just in Japanese. In the U.S. they limited the collector's edition to just New York City store.
I can't believe that.
If you actually look at the time, there's articles, because it's not all that long ago, of people being wrapped around the block to get. I think they estimated somewhere close to 200 were available, and that was it. That's the only way you could get it. So 200 some odd available. That happens, right? That goes on. I make peace with the fact that I'm probably never going to get it.
Right.
I did try to help you. I looked on eBay for a couple, but you didn't like the price.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. You weren't going to be in New York.
Right.
No,
The only-
I
Although
wouldn't go to New York to get it.
I
and-
will say, just real quick, Grimsby 42, if y'all remember him, he did go to that launch in person.
I remember that. I remember that happening.
Well,
Yeah.
I did try a couple of times for you. I was trying my hardest to help you out, but I couldn't find a good enough deal.
So,
So fast forward a couple of months.
well, before you do that, why don't you say what this game is worth?
Nowadays, I don't really know. It doesn't sell all that often. People always try to get a lot of money for it, but it's probably $1,000 maybe.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward a couple of months. I'm a frequent visitor of Nintendo Age.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And a guy is willing. He's got one. It's a sealed copy. He says, "Hey, I've got one. Looking to sell, trade it, whatever." Seemed kind of nonchalant about the whole thing. Messaged the guy, and I said, "Look, I'll give you pretty much everything up to both of my kidneys. Like, I'll give you, you know what I mean?
I'll give you everything for it."
So he's got this video. He's got a list, and I don't remember all of what's on there, but I think it was a large list. And from what I can remember, this is what I traded him. First of all, this is like one of the only things I regret getting rid of. Sparkster on Super Nintendo. It was a cartridge only.
Yeah,
I really did
I think I remember you owning that.
Yeah, I did like that.
Back.
Yeah. What else? Battletoads and Battlemaniacs and Battletoads Double Dragon, both
Aw.
complete. Both
Yeah.
complete copies on Super Nintendo.
You can get those back, though.
Yeah. I want to say there was something else, but I don't remember. And then the last one, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy Complete on Super Nintendo. That game. Which, that one hurt a little bit because it took me so long to find a manual for that game.
Yeah,
I remember the
that.
hunt. I remember that damn hunt you were looking
That was
for
ridiculous.
ever.
And
But it's like...
I ended up finding a good deal on a manual, but it had a rental sticker on it. And I remember this. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. I remember when I was making the deal with this guy, I was so nervous that he was going to pass on it because of the manual having a sticker on it that I tried to get that sticker off. And I did get it off, but it put like the ever so slightest tear in the Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, no. You never said that.
Yeah. He was okay with it because it was still... that wasn't the only blemish. It's not like it was a mint manual.
Right.
Well, what I don't remember is how much those copies on eBay were that I found for you.
I think they were probably around $500, maybe a little less.
Well,
It was that worth more or less than the amount of the
I
money
think
of the game that you
value-wise-
traded him.
so
Well,
here...
here's the thing. Hunter was probably just going to say this. Value-wise, I don't really know how well I did. It was probably in his advantage a little bit. But if I ever wanted to get those games back again, I could go on eBay today and buy them. You cannot necessarily, you might be able to right now, but at any given time, you cannot just buy a Hyrule Warriors limited edition. It just doesn't happen. And it's going to be so hard to get in 20 years because they're all going to be in collectors' hands. So I knew from like a longevity standpoint, the odds were definitely, or the value was definitely in my favor.
Right.
But you didn't have to
Well, I was
spend no
also
money
going to
either.
say... I was going to also say... Ninja Gaiden Trilogy is cool, but you can get them all on the NES.
Right.
I
And
mean, yes, the Super Nintendo version adds some features that are nice, but you can get all three on the NES for a fraction of the price.
and to be quite honest with you, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy is not that. I mean, it's an expensive game, but it's not that hard to get.
No, I've seen many people get that game. It's not super, super rare.
Anyway, I do still have it. Obviously, I'll never get rid of this. I'll probably be buried with it.
Nope.
They do not make a box protector for it, so this is actually a box protector for some sort of toy figure, Dorbs or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The guy who owns RetroProtection.com, he worked with me to try and find one that would fit it pretty well because there's just not enough of these in the Mario Kart ones to make sense to make their own.
I know. Cooper made it. He made his he made custom design and got it actually made.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Had
So
it come.
this will-
Yeah.
does-
Well, yeah. I'm just saying though. You can go.
Still
that route.
sealed. And by the way, just so you know, the only thing that this comes with is a copy of the game and a scarf.
Yeah, it's not that cool.
There's really nothing that cool about it.
So you have $1,000 scarf on your shelf.
Basically. Well, hey, right now with the pandemic, can't get a mask. There's your scarf.
Could save my life one day.
In the end times.
So So that's that, right? Great. One of my favorite things I have in my collection. I always talk about it or show it if I have a chance to do it. But not my greatest score, and really not, quite frankly, not even close. So, greatest score ever, in my mind, probably will never be topped by me. It's highly, highly unlikely that it'll ever be beaten.
Well, I say otherwise. It's coming tomorrow.
I can't even leave the house.
It'll come to you.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2010, 11. I think it was 11.
It was 11, I think.
Yeah, 2011. I'm in college. I'm working at a golf course. I
remember that.
I have no money. I mean,
$0.
I mean, I have a paycheck. I spend it on whatever. I had no responsibilities or bills at the time. No feasible amount of money, no wealth whatsoever.
Look at how you changed.
So I've got an ad on Craigslist, and it's one of those used to be rampant ads looking for classic video games.
Oh God, they were everywhere.
Flag.
I mean, I did it too, but
yeah.
Flag. I did not. I was too. My anxiety was.
Oh well, let me tell you. The second it was posted, flagged.
Yeah, and that was a big problem. But I mean, whatever.
But it did work sometimes.
Yeah, so I was like one of 5 people doing that. Anyway, I get a message one day, and I don't remember the entire details of the story. And I couldn't find all of the email conversation. But here's what it was. Lady messages me, says her and her husband have NES and Super NES games. Am I interested? Obviously, I am interested.
Of course.
It had to either be the first. It had to be like the next email message or whatever. She sends me a picture of what they've got, and I can't even put into words the feeling when I saw the picture.
I would love to being able to see your reaction when you got the picture.
But I just had the picture up. But I'll put it in the video so you can see.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a picture of the I don't even want to call it the Holy Grail because it's like Holy Grails.
No, it was like the creme de la creme.
Yes.
We're getting a whole lot better.
And it was of Super Nintendo and NES stuff. And God, I just had the damn thing out. Games, whatever. It was about 40 or so between the two systems, and they were complete in box. And we're talking heavy hitters. Not only heavy hitters like then, but like even more so now. So
I was going to say even more so now, yeah.
I will go through the list of the Super Nintendo games. I'm actually looking at the picture, and I can... I'm not going to share my screen. I'll just put the picture in the video.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so here, let's go. I'll just read them top corner to top corner, or bottom corner, whatever. These are all complete in box. No Escape, Secret of Evermore, Kirby Superstar, Mario RPG, Return of the Jedi, ActRaiser, Shadowrun, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy II, Lufia, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Indiana Jones, Brain Lord, Final Fantasy III, Lufia 2, Draken, Donkey Kong Country 1, Yoshi's Island, Soul Blazer, Zelda Link to the Past, Vegas Stakes, which, I mean, obviously sealed the deal.
I'm gonna throw up before the end of this story. I'm getting sick over this.
Robo Trek, Young Merlin.
I have a bingo for that right now that I need to sell. Funny.
Young Merlin, Demon's Crest. That was a good one. A player's choice version of Link to the Past.
So it's already amazing, by the way.
It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Illusion of Gaia, Breath of Fire 2, Eye of the Beholder, Super Black Bass, and the Seventh Saga. Oh, and Paladin's Quest and the Super Nintendo cleaning kit.
Can I say that Super Black Bass is so out of place?
Did this lot have Earthbound, or was that a different lot?
It does. So those are the complete games. There's one case and manual only, and that's Dragon View, which is a very uncommon.
Also a very pretty rare game.
Yeah, never see that one.
Oh, did I spoil it?
Well, not really. I mean,
it was going in
two copies of Super Mario World. If I remember right, they were the two variants.
Yeah, I think it was the one with the labels. Yeah, the text.
Lion King. I think I still have that. Breath of Fire 1, these are loose. Killer Instinct, looks like Mario Fun with Numbers. Super Metroid's a good one. And finally, Earthbound.
I should have the box for that.
Yeah, never did get.
Then you might have actually had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I have something extra to add for Hunter's video.
Yeah. So just an unbelievable lot of games, right? And you got to keep in mind, like I said, I do not have any money. So there's very little.
So you have no money, and this is like a $5,000 set of games here, and you have no money.
Right. And I don't know how I'm going to feasibly get these. That was always my problem. There was always good games, but I just never had any money. So it would be one thing. It would be one thing if the deal stopped there, but it doesn't, right? So there's actually a lot more to it.
God, I'm about to
The
throw
whole
up.
picture of the NES stuff. Now the NES stuff is definitely a step down, but it's still awesome. So
there's some good shit in there.
Yeah, I'll read these very quickly. These are all complete. Dig Dug 2, Mario 2 and 3, Tetris, Faxanadu, Lolo 3, Adventure Island, Battle of Olympus, 8 Eyes, Castlevania 2 and 3, Lode Runner, Donkey Kong Classics, Anticipation, Gauntlet 2, Zelda 1 and 2, Ultima, I can't remember which Ultima it is. It's the purpley blue one. Metroid,
I think.
Metroid, Legacy of the Wizard, Slalom, Bomberman 2, which is by far the best one in here.
That game's like over $200.
Top Gun, Gauntlet, Rad Racer, Willow, Dragon Warrior 2, and then loose copies of Mario 1 and 2 and Mighty Bomb Jack.
Oh God Almighty!
So really, just crazy.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That's just unbelievable.
It's the kind of stuff that 10 years later it did make me ill. You know what I mean?
Like you think about it, it's like I cannot believe this happened to me.
So it's this lady, and apparently she has a husband. I think she mentioned him at one point. And she said, "What can you offer?" And I'm like, "Look, unless you want like a half an hour golf lesson, I don't know what I can offer you." So
I can't make you any offer because I don't have any money.
I did say I don't have any money. That's not entirely true.
That's what you want to tell the seller. Well, I don't actually have any money.
I had gosh, I can't remember how much money I had, but because I don't remember how much I paid. But here's what I can tell you: whatever I paid for this lot was every dollar I had to my name. I did not have any money by the time.
You said it earlier.
Do you remember what you may have had?
He said it earlier. Yeah.
So I made a YouTube video at the time, and I paid between. I didn't say in the video for some reason. I don't know why. Between $100 and $150, and I'm just gonna say $150. Now. What was it? Well, one thing that was interesting is that we split shipping. She offered to split the shipping costs with me because she lived in my state, but kind of farther away. And
I'm not shipping stuff from a lady on Craigslist.
And she offered, because it was a large box, she was going to ship it from her work, and she offered to split that shipping cost. I was like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I wonder if they were her son's games and her son was off to college.
I don't.
While you were in college.
So. I remember saying this. I remember offering her the money and just
praying to God,
assuming I wasn't going to get it.
Just praying to God she might say yes.
And I remember, I don't have the email anymore, but I do remember the email she sent back to me. It said, "I reviewed your offer with my husband, and it's acceptable." And I just, I can't explain it. Like,
I'm
how
sure the feeling that came over you was just like, "There's no way." Like,
so
they're probably like, just some old games. We don't need these anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just look at, and here's the thing. I brought the copy of Chrono Trigger. This is like the surviving piece of this. Most of this is gone now.
I'm surprised because you don't even like the game.
Well, actually, this isn't entirely that copy. I got a box upgrade because a lot of these were in.
I've been meaning to try that game, and I kept.
Yeah, me too. Still have it.
I even had a copy from Chase that he sent me.
Yeah, I remember
that.
Never
14.
Never played.
I played maybe like a half hour into it, and then I quit.
Terrible.
I'm looking at this lot of games right now, and I don't think of the Super Nintendo games. I don't think I have any of these anymore. Zelda I do have, but I think it's a box upgrade. I might have Return of the Jedi, but the rest, I don't believe I have anymore, except for this Chrono Trigger. But for the NES, I have both of the Zeldas. I have the Lolo 3 still. The Mario 3, I think I kept that. I got rid of the Bomberman. I sold off a lot of stuff years ago, but I can there. Any one of these games almost could be worth the 150.
Yeah, like I'd almost pay that for any of those.
It's unbelievable. I'll never. That was July of 2011. I'm looking at the email.
And, I mean, and even then, it's like, wow.
To quote Tenacious D, "Come on already, come on already with your order."
Yeah, wrap it up, Tyler.
So anyway, I'm sorry. That was long-winded. That took a while. All three, but
no, don't worry, we're getting them on.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't
mind second.
Yeah,
to get it over with.
Go, you can go.
Okay, there I was, looking on eBay, and I was just catching a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, and I didn't even catch the whole picture of the game. I caught a glimpse, just a glimpse, and I bought it immediately because I knew what it was, and that game was Shantae.
I remember those
for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And the lot was only like $20, I think, with some other Game Boy games.
Yeah, and you swear
the rest of the games were just common games.
But I remember you swore, and I remember telling me this for years, that the title was Video Game Lot, and that was it.
Even though I don't have a record of that anymore.
But
sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, though.
And then it was only within a week before buying that I learned what Shantae was and saw the picture.
What are the odds of that?
And somehow I ingrained that in my brain. So as soon as I saw that auction and saw it, it's like I didn't even have to see the full picture, just a glimpse.
Just a glimpse.
Just a glimpse. That's all it took.
I'm just catching a glimpse, but I think I'm about to have a heart attack.
All right. I only have one other story for this video, and this is where these pictures are going to come in. If you guys want to look at your ones over in the chat.
Yeah, let me.
This is up there with the Spiker lot, and it actually technically is probably worth more.
Oh yeah, probably overall.
It was a Sega Genesis 32X slot. Oh shoot! I just scrolled down past it. Oh no, I just lost it. There it is.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. We had it was a Sega Genesis with a 32X, a bunch of controllers. You know, controllers are worth about $10 a piece. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 controllers, 3 arcade sticks, and that's just the systems.
What's that power plug thing? What is that?
It's a multi.
I have something blocking my. Hey, the power plug. That's not worth much. I forget what it does now. I don't think that.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I believe that's a multi-tap.
And then we're going to move on to the loose Genesis games, which are not bad here. We got Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. We got True Lies.
Favorite game.
X-Men 2. We got the 6-pack. Bioforce, was that what it's called? Bioforce?
Yeah, the shooter game.
Yeah. Twin Cobra.
No, Biohazard Battle. That's what it's called.
Biohazard. That's right.
Yeah, Biohazard Battle.
We had Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice League. A Game Genie, Sonic and Knuckles. And then a few loose 32X games. Cosmic Carnage, Tough Man Contest, and the first of 2 copies of Calibre.
Wow.
And then we move on to the meat and potatoes here. That's something I hear Tyler say a lot.
A true Midwestern truth.
It is because I don't ever say that ever.
And then we have a boxed Calibre without the manual. 2 copies of Sonic and Knuckles that are. They have the manuals. Do you remember? I don't remember anymore.
I think one did and one did not.
Hold on, you just said Sonic and Knuckles. I don't think you meant to say Sonic.
I meant to say Knuckles Chaotix.
I do that
right,
all
you caught me. I'm glad you got me on that one.
Big difference, yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the
Okay.
time.
I can't make out the one between
It's Tempo.
Okay, there was a Tempo.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Tempo?
I don't remember if that was complete or not. And then there was
I want that game really bad.
What is that
the other
other
one? Mother something, Mother
Oh,
2000.
Zaxxon.
Zaxxon's Mother Base 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it was Mortal Kombat 2 in the box, with or without a manual, and Star Wars Arcade, with or without a manual. And then a whole mess of box Genesis games. We got, I'm not going to mention them all, but we got Socket, Crew Ball, the Mortal Kombat, Spider-Man,
I mean, Road
Possum, Road Rash 3,
Yeah.
Road Rash 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah, I see that, the whole trilogy there.
Outrun, that's a good one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Afterburner, a few of the commons I'm not going to mention.
Hey, skipped right over like 2 or 3.
But
Crew Ball, Burgerman, and Socket.
I mentioned Crew Ball.
I didn't hear you say it. Therefore, it didn't happen, Rob.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. I skipped Boogerman. Sorry. Chuck Rock 2.
Terrible game.
Chester Cheetah. Probably all the Sonics, 1, 2, and 3. What's that one down on the bottom? Is that the Ooze?
Yeah, the Ooze. I don't know if that's worth anything.
Kitchen, Terminator 2, Predator 2, Cap Attack, a second copy of Mortal Kombat, Sonic 3D Blast. I think that's Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, Sonic
another
3.
Copy of Terminator 2.
No, that's a different T2. Yeah,
That's a different one?
different T2. Yeah, that's T2, the arcade game.
Okay, Jurassic Park. Oh, we can't forget about the Great Waldo Search. It's like the best game
Yes,
a lot.
we can forget about it.
Hang On, Pink Goes to Hollywood, Starflight.
Yeah, Starflight.
Toe Jam and Earl, Panic and Funkatron, and B.O.B.
Bob.
So just real quick, I want to say that that F-22 game right there, that I can't prove it. It has to be the most common Genesis game of all time.
Which game?
F-22 Interceptor, right next.
I don't know if it's that common.
Dude, Rob, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
I swear I get that more than Sonic 2. It's in every lot.
This was just a selling lot. You know, I bought it just to sell to make money.
Scumbag seller of the week.
I don't know my exact profit, but my estimated profit of selling all this stuff was I heard you there.
Yeah, I figured you did.
And my estimated profit was gonna be around the $1,000 mark.
Wow.
And I paid about $280. About $280.
Wow.
You know, little known fact about Starflight on Genesis. That game holds the record for the thickest manual in the history.
Oh my god! It's like 100. It's like 100 pages.
I don't remember anymore.
It is actually. I think it is 98 pages or something like that. I used to have
it's ridiculous. It's not a manual. It's a novel.
Yeah, it is it's like a guide. It's something else.
I've seen some other games like that, but but that probably is right up there with it.
Wow.
I guess that's all mine. So I guess we got a couple from Hunter, I guess.
Yeah. So the first one, this one happened. I think it had to have been last year. It was before I went to too many games last year. So anytime before June, I can't remember exactly. I was going to the Goodwill outlet back then all the time, and I'm just digging through the bins. I was more looking for CDs than video games, honestly. But I spotted something, and I still have it somewhere. I wish I could find it. I spotted a CD case, but the bottom of the corner, I could read it said NIS America. And I was like, what the hell is that? CD, NIS America. So I picked it up, and I looked it up, and it was like the soundtrack to one of their PSP games or whatever. And I swear to God, underneath of it was the Rule of Rose soundtrack.
The soundtrack?
I vaguely remember this.
Just the disc only for the soundtrack, which is extremely rare because that was a pre-order bonus for a game that nobody bought. Granted, not nearly.
The game's expensive, but that's all I know.
Yeah, well, granted, that game right now is like $500.
Wow. I know you used to have a copy of that too.
I remember when it was only worth about $200.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, yeah, so I was like, all right, definitely going to buy that. And I was like, but it was disc only. It didn't have the sleeve. And I was like, man, I wonder how hard it's going to be to sell this thing. Well, it wasn't. I sold it in like 3 days on eBay. And I think the guy paid me $80 for it. So
Well, there probably wasn't a guide to go by on that, was there?
no, not really. They don't sell. Nobody buys them. So
Worth a lot, but hard to sell.
yeah, but cool find, really cool find, one of my favorites. So I might as well, I told the Musha story on your channel. Let me tell the sequel here. So once again, last year, same store that Musha was at for $2.99. I went in one day and dude, God, I wish I'd known who sold this to them because I know they didn't make any money. Dude traded in an entire Sega collection, Master System, Saturn, Genesis, and every rare game. Shining Force 3, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Golden Axe Warrior, the best of the best. And I know they paid him $100 probably for all of it, which just makes me cry. But for some reason, I asked to look at the Sega CD games, and they had some cool ones. They had Terminator. I remember they had Terminator, which I really wanted, but expensive. But they had Robo Aleste, which is the sequel to Musha. And I was like, well, can I see it? And this is even funnier, because this is the same employee that sold us Musha for $3 9 years ago. I got Robo Aleste for $10.
Wow.
From the guy giving into the store or from the game store itself?
From the same employee that sold us Musha like 9 years earlier, also sold me the sequel for $10 8 or 9 years later.
Did you not know what it was worth?
Obviously not. The system obviously hasn't been updated. I remember going into that store all the time and buying Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii because they kept pricing it at $4.99. I bought like 12 copies there before they caught on. I mean, seriously, I go in and buy 2, 3, 4 copies at a time. I was making so much money off of them for like 2 months on those games.
Well, why is this guy buying all the copies of this? Jeez.
They asked me one time, and I said, I don't remember what I said. I probably just said something stupid.
No habla inglés.
Yeah, no habla inglés. So that's pretty much that story there. Pretty cool. So the next one I'm going to talk about, Tyler, you know what this is? It's the Mega Man X2, which ties into your channel because you kind of ended up with it.
Yeah.
So
that made a lot of money off you.
So yeah. So
I didn't.
Kind of like you, I was in high school, but I was in my accounting class. Boring as all hell. I don't care.
Did you have no money?
Yeah. I mean, I had no money in high school. Absolutely none. So
lunch money.
Actually, it's funny you say that. I should tell you that. So every day I got $5 to pay for lunch at school, right? But I never ate lunch. So at the end of every week, I'd take my $25 to the game store and buy just NES commons that I needed.
Smart.
I didn't need
lunch. Goddamn, a lot for a high school lunch.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and it was also crap.
Yeah.
But so I'm sitting in accounting class, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have an ad up. I think this was an ad that was on Craigslist, and for some reason the school didn't block really any websites, so I was just browsing Craigslist the whole time. And he posted it, and I remember it just said Super Nintendo with games. Didn't list anything, no pictures, nothing to go on. But I was like, I don't remember what I paid, but I'm pretty sure it was like somewhere between $40 and $60. It was cheap. And I have no idea where I got the money. I probably begged my grandma to give it to me.
Did you say the game was complete?
Yeah.
You didn't say what game it was even. You just said Nintendo with games.
I just totally lost my train of thought. Wow.
Well, he said at the beginning it was the Mega Man X2 story.
Oh yeah. Oh, right. Okay, I just like totally lost my train of thought there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid probably like $40 or $50 for this thing. It was cheap. And of course I was in class. It was only like 1 o'clock, and I was like, can you meet me over by the GameStop when I get out of school? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. I guess nobody saw anything wrong with that. But he didn't tell me any of the games before I got there. And I remember he was in a big truck, and it was in this like really shitty like bag like this. It was kind of like in a bag like these are. Yeah. And it was 20 games. I didn't care if it was 20 copies of Madden. $40, I'm on it. And he gets out and he hands me the bag, and I swear to God, the 2 games sitting on top are Mega Man X2 and Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Yeah, that's right.
And at that point, I was just like, wow.
Now,
Like,
were they complete or just loose?
no, they were just loose. But I mean, even for that, I was like, wow. And I mean, God knows what else was in there. I mean, I'm sure there was a Mario World or something.
I don't know what the Kirby game's worth.
$60. I don't know.
Probably $60-$70 for a loose cartridge.
Is it?
Yeah, that game's actually pretty tough to get a good box of. It's
That
one of
was
those
super
games.
late, wasn't it? That was a super late release.
96, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
But you know, it's 96, and Kirby at that time wasn't exactly the biggest name. Which I love Kirby though, so. But yeah, so I don't remember what else was in there, but I'm sure there was Mario World. I think there was the entire Donkey Kong trilogy. I think I remember that.
Nice.
But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid $40 or $50 for it. So that's definitely a really good one. And I got one more small one here, just a small one.
Okay.
So when I was in school, I knew this kid named I think it was Tyler DeWalt or something.
He lived at 323 West 82nd Street.
But yeah, so this guy was so weird. This was the kid in school that told me, I don't listen to music. It doesn't do anything for me. And I was like, what do you do at home? He was like, I don't know, watch TV. I don't really do anything. I was like, how are you alive? Well, I was like, well, now I know why you're insane and weird. But, so we were talking about video games one time in, I think, computer class or typing class, whatever. And he mentions me as an N64, and I'm like, oh, you know, what do you got? He's like, yeah, you know, Mario 64, you know, pretty much all the, you know, good games, but the commons, Mario Party 2, whatever. And then he goes, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I'm like, oh, you got that? And he's like, yeah, I don't, you know. And I was like, well, you want to sell me any of that stuff? Like, and he was like, well, the only one, it's funny because he's like, well, the only one I don't really want is Conker's. And I was like, that's fine, whatever, because that game was like $75 loose at the time. And I asked him what he wants. He you know, hems and haws for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, and when anybody ever does that, you need to just throw out an offer. They just want you to say something. They don't know. They just want you to make the price. Yeah. Anyway, he eventually comes back and he goes, I don't know, $5. I'm like, yeah, bring me it tomorrow. You got $5. Yeah, for sure. And he brought it to me.
Wow. That's good.
That's
but
crazy.
funny because he figured out, like you, like a week later what it was worth, and he asked if you could buy it back.
Oh, you got a wild guns on you.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, I was like, I already sold it, dude. Like that's off to Michigan right now as we speak.
That's awesome.
So
That's funny.
I mean, I sold it on eBay. Like as soon as I got home that day, it sold. So I was like, shit, I just made $70 off that idiot. I mean, let's be honest. Anybody who says they don't listen to music doesn't deserve to make any money.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get flagged for being offensive.
So, okay. All right. Well, that's good for part 2. I think we'll do part 3 on Hunter's channel with everybody has more stories, but it'll be Hunter's or Derreck's Game World, his big stuff.
I go by many names.
Aliases. So check out his channel, link in the description for part 3.